Listen, uploaded my video, and so now you have the police, the New York Predator Department, and probably the fecal department of of New York engaging in, uh, using noise as a weapon. Right? So again, whenever I expose what it is that they're doing, this will always be their response. Right? At least one of the response that they'll do is again using noise as a weapon. Okay? So also I forgot. I received a package today, which is a CPU that I had ordered from Facebook Marketplace. It's like $35. It's a pretty good, CPU. Um, I've built the kids their first AM four uh, platform from AMD. Built them. Both of them had the the 1600 AF, right? At the time when that chip came out, it was like $89, which was for a 6-core 12-thread CPU was amazing. And so that is when I started. My daughter still has that in her computer, and my son I upgraded his to a Ryzen 5 5500 about 2 years ago. Right, so the Ryzen 5 5500 is in his computer. And then when I built my oldest son his new computer, after 10 years, right, after a decade of having his computer, he, you know, I had over a year, I bought, piece by piece, the parts of his computer, finally able to build it for him. And then, it sat in my house for about 2 months. Have not Didn't hear from him. You know, I called him. I said, "Hey, come and get your computer." He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna come get it." For 2 months, didn't hear from him. I called him, leaving messages, and this was like 2 years ago, right? So 2 years ago, and I was like, you know what, um, I'm I was like, you know what, I want to build myself a new computer afterwards. So I said, you know what, I'm going to um, I'm going to keep that computer because I haven't heard from him. He hasn't texted me. I've texted him. I've called him. Has not texted me back. Didn't return my messages or anything like that. Right. And so I told him. I said, listen. I texted him. I said, if you don't come and get it, then guess what? It's gonna be my new computer because I'm not having to sit here. I haven't heard from you. You haven't told me if you wanted it or not. So there you go. So after he didn't respond, I was like, all right, whatever. So I ended up keeping it for myself. And then for his birthday was coming around, okay, and he was like, uh, "Okay, I'm ready to come and get my computer now." I said, "Dude, you don't have a computer no more. Okay, 2 months I've called you, I've texted you, you didn't return my call, you didn't text me back, nothing." Right? I said that was very, very disrespectful. So what makes you think that I was going to still hold on to that computer and give it to you? All right. So, um, he was like, "Oh, whatever." I said, "You still use your computer, right? Wasn't it you?" He's like, "Yeah." I said, "Still good?" "Yeah." I said, "Okay." Like obviously, it was good enough to where you didn't need the new computer. All right. But then I ended up surprising him. It was about a month after his birthday, and I got the parts for a new build for him, and it was the latest AMD CPU. I think they had a summer sale, right? They had a summer sale. I already had the memory. Um, I had the drives already. Um, so I just got uh, the new graphics card, the motherboard, and the case, and that was it. All right. So he was able to get a new computer up, and I tell you, even now, I'll call him, I'll text him. He won't return my call. He won't text me back. Once in a while, if I do get in touch with him, he'll answer. So I don't even bother anymore. I keep calling him just just to see how he's doing or what have you. And if he doesn't answer, he doesn't answer. He doesn't text back. He doesn't text back. I don't worry about that stuff anymore. Okay, so yeah. But yeah, so this CPU I ordered because there's a guy on my block, and he I'm always seeing him. We always talking stuff like that, and and he always telling me, it's like, man, when I see you, it's like, you're full of knowledge and information and stuff like that. And we was talking one day, and I was like, yeah, you can go research stuff yourself. And he was like, I don't have a computer, this and that. And so I told him, I said, you know what? I said, just give me some time, okay? I'll try to find some parts as cheap as possible, as cheap as I can get them as, and finally got the CPU. Like I said, it was $35, and I already had an old motherboard there that I had from it's like maybe like 5 years now. Okay, 5 years, but it still works. Okay, it still works. Doesn't have a lot of USB ports in the back of it, but it still works. And I bought a cheap case last month for about the same price, about $35. With tax come up to like $42, something like that, right? And that's it. I already had an old power supply that I had um, taken off from an old computer that I had thrown away because it was like real old. But the power supply still works. So I tested it; it works, and I have. No, I ordered memory. I ordered 2 sticks of memory, 16 gigs, and a hard drive, and that's it. That's it. So, I do have an old monitor there that I can give him, and I have an old keyboard and mouse that he can have. So, sometimes, like I said, sometimes it's good to help people out, you know, and when you can. Though I may not have much, but I do try to, particularly if it's somebody that I think, will put it to good use, then yeah, you know. And so I told myself, hey, listen, it'll take me a couple months. Just be patient. I spoke to him. I said, listen, I know it'll take me a couple months. All right, just be patient. I'll when I get the parts, you'll have the computer. And the operating system is not expensive. You can get a key from one of those websites where they're like, I think I usually pay like $6 or $7 for mine, window key, and there's Windows Pro, right? So you can get those things online. Not you have to go to the Microsoft website and download the um, the Windows OS, and you can create a media um, device or save it to the media device, or what they call a media creation tool on the Windows website, and you stick in a USB drive in there, and then you download the operating system, and then you install it on the computer, and then you just put in the Windows key, right, and then you up and running. So you know, I do what I can do for for certain people that I think can put it to good use. Particularly when I see and again, he's not a young guy. He's like this dude is like 30 in his late 30s. Okay, his late 30s. But they like I said, it's never a problem for me to try to help some people out if I can, and it is what it is. But yeah, so finally got it, and like I said, it's not bad at all. Like $35, man. I was like, give me the. I watch these these guys on YouTube, and they do what's called these PC flip, right? And they will get these old Intel processors, usually quad cores, no hyper-thread, nothing like that, very old, and you can only run Windows 10 on it. Okay, and I always say if I'm giving anybody a computer, all right, whether I'm building it cheaply, okay, whether it be used parts or cheaply using new parts, uh, I'll never give a person, sell a person a computer uh, that they cannot upgrade, um, and you cannot install Windows 11 on. It makes no sense, right? Because Windows 10, after a while, Microsoft does not will no longer support those OS, right? Just like Windows 8 does not support it anymore. Windows 10, I think, is only supported for the next couple of years, but Windows 11, will be supported until probably the year 2030. So, why would I even? I mean, listen, Windows 10 is fine, but Windows software no longer supported. Guess what? Then you run the risk of security exploits. Um, and though they may have third-party sites that may give some sort of security support and update for Windows, many people don't know how to do those things. Right? The average person do not know. Average consumer do not know how to do those things. So I would rather give them a computer in which I know that they can upgrade to Windows 12 or Windows 13 or Windows 14, whatever the next number is, and so that they'll be good. It may not be the best processor out there, but for most people, right, it's perfectly fine, and it's even better because it's a 6-core 12-thread CPU. All right, and yeah, it's in good condition. Usually when I go online and look for used computer parts, I'm always you got to read the the information correctly, because sometimes they don't they'll try to they'll what they'll do, because there's two different versions. So there's the 1600 AE and the 1600 AF. 1600 AE is the very first Zen architect. The 1600 AF came out after the Ryzen 2000 series, which is the 2600 up the way to the 2700, um, and so there's a difference, right? One is Zen, one is Zen Plus. Uh, Zen you cannot upgrade to Windows 11. Zen Plus you can, because it's based off of Zen 2 architect. It's just I think it's on the seven. No, is it on the? I was about to say the 7 nanometer node, but it's not. It's probably about on the. It's not 14 nanometer either. All right, I can't remember. It's either something like a 10 nanometer node or a 7 nanometer node, but I know it's not the 14 nanometer node. But anyhow, so that's why you can upgrade to Windows 11, right? And you pair it with a pretty good entry level graphics card like the RX 5500, and you have a pretty good computer, and you can game on it, and you can do video editing if you want to. You can do music production if you want to. You know, so I would rather do that. Now, like I said, I'm not building not no brand new parts. No, that that if I'm building a computer to sell it, yeah. If I'm building a computer for my kids, yeah. Of myself, yeah. If I'm building a computer for someone, I build the cheapest possible. It'll take me a couple months, but they'll have a computer because they're not going to go out there and buy one. Okay, so like I said, if I get the parts cheap, and you got to know how to shop for computer parts. All right. And as a TI, you're working with very limited budget. Sometimes you'll have to. I'm just like, well, I'm not buying any lunch for the entire week. I'm just going to cook, which I normally do anyway. Or I may say, I'm not going to get certain things, what have you. But as long as I pay my bills, I'm fine for now. And like I said, I do have a couple computers on eBay. I haven't gotten anybody to even, you know, um, buy them. It's been there for a couple of months, and it's going to be there for a couple of months. I'm not giving them away. I'm not doing that. Um, you know, because that's what they want you to do. Whenever you try to do anything, any sort of, particularly as a, I'm not even gonna get into that. I think I've been talking long enough, boring you guys with these technical uh, terminologies and tech that I'm talking about here. I know you guys are not interested in that, but hey, I am. So yeah. Well, with that being said, I'll talk to you guys next year.